Ambassador, when I think of China, I think, of course, of some of the great institutions, especially around culture, but I also think of a increasingly smart-driven society. For example, household appliances, cellular technology, the way it innovates in medicines and in global health, and more and more and more.
Well, this is a digitalized world, a connected world. The devices we use, you could never imagine 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So this is really a innovative, a new era. We're really enjoying lots of benefits brought about by new technologies on a daily basis, almost on a daily basis. China is very much into the tech revolution. China feels an acute distance between China and developed countries in terms of technology or core technology. We know we have lots of work to do. It takes time, it takes investment for years to come. The R&D expenditure now takes up 2% of China's GDP, and it's increasing. It's increasing. But that, again, when we put it in the US-China relationship, in that context, US recognizes certainly China has a right to develop itself technologically, but they tend to view China's tech progress as a threat.
But why is that? I mean, if technology enhances and improves billions of lives from whichever country it was innovated in, and often together, why do you think people are worried, and should they be?
They should not worry about China's tech progress. You're right, technology progress will benefit everyone. And also it needs both upstream and downstream. It needs all countries in full circle to make it work. What the United States worry about China is they see China as a strategic competitor. If China gains in its possession of new technology or catches up with the United States in the technological field, the tech superiority that US has enjoyed, which has supported US hegemonic position in industry, in technology, they feel that position can be or will be eroded, if not replaced, by China. That's a pretty, I would say, biased assessment of what China has done. I think they have mistaken China's tech progress as China's ambition for geopolitical rivalry with the United States, which is not true. I mean, for China to develop itself from manufacturing center to a more service and manufacturing combined industry or economy, its technology has to improve. China will eventually move up in the global supply chain with new technologies, but it takes time. I believe the gap between US and China is pretty large, pretty wide for the time being. But China is trying to catch up. US should not be worrying too much about that. For instance, there is a chip making company in the United States. It sells 50% of its chips, advanced ones, to China to consume, for China to make them to put them in the smartphones, computers, etc., and then sell them in the world, worldwide. 50% consumption is in China. But if you put in what has been used by Apple phones, iPad, etc., that percentage will be higher to be 60%. If that market is gone, as extreme conservative people in the United States are advocating a decoupling in technology between China and the United States, if that happens, then those chips will not come to China. China has to seek other sources of supply, maybe from Samsung of South Korea, etc. But in that case, if the market is lost, Chinese market is lost to US chip makers, those chip making companies in the United States will simply collapse.